So we're at the two dots on the bottom of Kuf Yud Zayin Amud Beis 117b, in the middle of a discussion about how they divided up the land when they entered Israel. Did they give out the land to the people who left Egypt according to that calculation? Did they give out the land according to the ones who came into Israel, and then they had to go back and and so to speak, give it back to the ones who left Egypt and then inherit from them? So now we're going to bring a few different difficulties according to each opinion. Amalei Rav Papa leHabai. Rav Papa said to Abai, according to the opinion that said we apportion out Eretz Yisrael according to the ones who left Mitzrayim. So if the father who left Egypt was over 20 years old and he had a number of children, so that's the calculation that we use when we apportion out Eretz Yisrael. So so that makes sense. The pasuk there talks about, and when it about divvying out the portions to the person who has many, so give him a lot of the inheritance, a lot of Eretz Yisrael. To the person who has not so many, so they'll get less. And this is right in the context. This seems to be referring to the ones who left Egypt. And it says, if the person had many children, they'll get a lot of Eretz Yisrael. If the person had fewer children, he'll get less of Eretz Yisrael. The Rashbam explained that the simple interpretation of this verse is that no matter who you have that enters Israel, but if you had a lot when you left Mitzrayim, then you'll get a lot. And no matter if you had a lot of people who entered into Israel, but if you had only a few people who left Mitzrayim in your family, so then you're going to get a little bit. We're on the first line of Kuf Yud Chesed. Elaman Damar Lebaya Aretz, but according to the opinion that said that you divvy out Eretz Yisrael according to how you entered Eretz Yisrael, and we don't really care about how much family you had at the time that you left Egypt. So then, what does it mean, L'Rav Tabernacle also Kasha? But according to him, it's very difficult. So the Rashbam explains that you cannot understand this verse as to the one who has a lot, he gets a lot of Eretz Yisrael, as referring to the people who are now entering Eretz Yisrael, because the verse told us earlier, and we had yesterday, that the people who entered Israel, it says about them, La'ele techalek haaretz. For these people, to these people, you will divide up the land. So you see who's entering Israel. So what does it mean for the one who has a lot of people who get a lot of land? It says La'ele. These are the people that are entering Israel. To them, you should divide up the land. So you don't need another pasuk to tell you, oh, and by the way, if he has 5 kids, he gets a lot of land, and if he has 1 kid, he gets less land. That's obvious. So that poses a difficulty according to the opinion that says that we divide the land up according to the ones who entered Israel. Rav Papa again says to Abaye, if you say that we divide up Eretz Yisrael according to the people that left Egypt, that left Mitzrayim, so I understand why Benos Slavchad were so upset. They said, Lama Yigara, why should we lose out? That only makes sense if we apportion Eretz Yisrael according to the ones who left Egypt, because Slavchad was someone who left Egypt. But if you apportion out Eretz Yisrael according to the ones who entered into Israel, so Slavchad's not entering into Israel, he's not alive anymore. So their claim only makes sense according to one opinion, the first opinion we had yesterday, and not according to the second opinion. According to the opinion that said that when you enter Israel, it's that generation that we look to see who gets the land. So why were they crying out? I mean, how is that opinion going to understand their complaint of why they should lose out in Eretz Yisrael? So they don't have what to take of Israel. Slavchad wasn't one of the entering into Israel people. So it must be, he'll say like this, we learned yesterday that even if you understand that the ones who enter Israel get a merit, get a part of the land, but they still, the other verse told us that they still have to go back and see how much they get will be corresponding to who left Egypt. So even though right now we're entering Eretz Yisrael, but but at the end of the day, we still have to calculate how much we get, which is corresponding to who in our family left Egypt. 1 second. So now the Gefer, Tzlafchad's father, what would happen? They would enter Israel, and then they would have to see how many children did Gefer have when he left Egypt, and do that calculation. So you're going to merit the land now, but then you have to go back and see how much exactly you get. It depends on how many people left Egypt. So if that would be true, so right now we're going to be entering Israel, but you know what? If our father was alive, he would have gotten double of the land because he was the Bechor of Chefer's children. So we're entering Eretz Yisrael, but they're complaining because they said, listen, we should get a right to the land, because if our father was alive, we would always calculate back to him, and he would have received a double portion. 1 second. So their whole complaint was that right now Tzlafchad has no son. If he would have had a son, the son would have entered Israel, got a portion of land. How much would he have gotten? You have to go back to see who left Egypt. So since Tzlafchad was the firstborn, he would have got the double portion. So if he would have had a son, that son would have inherited his double portion, and that's how much he would have gotten. Since he doesn't have a son, we, the daughters, should take that place. So basically, whether you understand that you always look after who left Egypt, or whether you understand that you calculate according to the people that entered Israel, either way, the Benos Tzlafchad had a good claim. Either way, they had a good claim. If you understand, the simple understanding is that Tzlafchad left Egypt, he should have a ticket into Eretz Yisrael. That makes a lot of sense. But even if you say that that we calculate according to the opinion that says only the ones who enter Israel get a ticket, so okay, so we should take the place of if he would have had a son, the son would have entered Israel. And how much land would he have gotten? You'd have to calculate back to the grandfather, Chefer. Chefer died. So now Chefer would have given his double portion to Tzlafchad. Tzlafchad died also. So the son would have gotten that double portion. Now that the son's not around, he doesn't have a son, we, the daughters, should step into the shoes and get that double portion. So that would be that's what they were saying according to that opinion. Okay. Next attack on the opinion that says that we calculate according to the ones who entered Israel. It makes sense. So basically, the tribe of Yosef had many more people. This is from Yeshua, 17th chapter. So they had a lot more people than when they left Egypt. Right now, they had more than the other tribes, and they only got according to the amount of when they left Egypt. So when everyone left Egypt, the tribe of Yosef wasn't any more than any other tribe, and according to that portion, they got a piece of Eretz Yisrael. But now they're complaining and they're saying, "I understand, we're so much more. There's so much more of us that entered Israel than they were that left Mitzrayim. So why do we have so little? Each person has such a little part of Eretz Yisrael." So that's very good if you understand that we calculate according to the ones who left Egypt. That's why Hainu de Katzafchan b'nei Yosef. That's why they're yelling. That's why they're complaining, because they said because they're saying it's not fair. You gave us according to when we left Egypt, but look how many we have now. Oh, but what do you see from there? That you get according to how much you had when you left. So El Lamanam or Lebaya Aretz, but according to the opinion that says you apportion it out corresponding to the number of people that entered Eretz Yisrael, El Lamanam or Lebaya Aretz, so Mai Katzavchi, Kulhu Shakel. If it was apportioned according to the ones who entered Israel, so then everybody got their portion. So meaning, it sounds like they're only complaining because they're saying we have so little and now we have so much more. When we left Egypt, it's not fair that we got when we left Egypt, because now we have so much more. But if you would have divided up the land according to when they would have entered into Israel, so everyone would have gotten however many people they had right now. So right now they have this many people, so they got that amount, and they wouldn't have complained. So yeah, everyone would have got an equal portion. It says the Gemara, they were complaining because mishum tfeilim, because there were literally taf means a younger child, but there were orphans that were not 20 years old when they got into Israel, and they didn't have a father that entered Eretz Yisrael with them, and they had no one that they would inherit the land from, who left Egypt. So what happened is that they had all these extra people, all these orphans that had no piece of Israel, and they said it's not fair. We have too little. We need more land. So that's how they were complaining. So nothing to do with leaving Egypt or entering Israel. They just had not enough land for a lot of people that didn't get a portion because they never inherited anything. So yeah, there were too many orphans that didn't have anybody who left Egypt to give them over land, and they were under 20 years old, so they didn't get any land, so they were stuck, and that's why and that was their complaint. Okay. Amar Abaye, says Abaye. So before we had a Rapapa with 3 or 4 attacks on Abaye or questions on Abaye, now Abaye has the mic. So Amar Abaye. Shema Mina, from the fact that the children of Yosef and Slavchad, from their complaints, from their claims to land, Amar Abaye, Shema Mina lo habechad de lo shakil. Meaning, sounds like the only people that we have complaining on the books that were claiming that they need more are the Bnei Tzlavchad and the Bnei Yosef. But everybody else sounds like they got. No one else, we have no one recorded that was upset about their portion. Okay, so let's see. So Amar Abaye, Shema Mina lo abichad de lo shakil. Everyone else got. These sakadaitach abichad de lo shakil. If there was somebody who didn't get, he should have screamed. Yeah, he should have screamed. Famously, the Bali Musar from the 1800s said, "If your foot hurts, you scream. There's a problem, you scream. You don't remain silent." That was their line. Yeah. If you don't get something, it's not fair, so you scream. Where else do kids get it from? From the Torah? No. So that if you deserve a if you feel you deserve a portion in Eretz Yisrael, so speak up. Why remain silent? So says the Gemara, well, maybe you'll say, so the tzavach the ahani kasvikra, the tzavach velo ahani lo kasvikra. The fact that Torah didn't record other people's claims is not such good proof, because maybe the Torah only recorded the claims that worked, the good ones. Yelled
the loudest.
Yeah, there's this whole expertise how to complain. It's not so simple. So the ones that worked, that they got the land, that was recorded. But the ones, so you could say that you also claimed that, some of Eretz Yisrael. However, it's not recorded because you didn't get it. But it says not true, because look, Bnei Yosef tzavchi v'lo ahani v'kasvinukra. Bnei Yosef, they complained. They wanted more land. It's recorded in Yoshua, and they never got what they wanted. Bnei Tzavchad, they complained. They claimed land, and they got what they wanted. Bnei Yosef, not. So it sounds like that those are the only two tribes that felt that they needed more land, or any land at all. But every other tribe sounds like they got what they wanted. So we said no. Hassam. Hassam, really, no, you can't bring Yosef as a proof. Why? The Bnei Yosef. Because there, Hassam, Eitza Tova Kamash Malon. There, we learned a special, and Eitza Tova, good advice we learned. To do what? The Ba'i Leile Inish Liz Daruhe Ne Eina Bisha. So over there, the reason why the Navi recorded the Bnei Yosef's complaint is because of what Yehoshua answered them. I don't know if I have it recorded on the side of my yeah. Oh, so we're going to see in a second what it is. Yehoshua responded to them in a very positive way, teaching them this idea that you want to stay away from what we call an ayin hara, an evil eye. How the basic idea of an evil eye is not just a some kind of mystical thing, but in the beginning of Bava Kama, it's a real damage. It's something called hezek re'iyah, when when you're looking at somebody's property. So not only because you're invading their privacy, it could be also that things that are flaunted too much, so people are going to now be jealous of. If you cause that to happen, so in heaven they open up your books and they see if you really deserve this or not, right? So we try to avoid ayin hara, which means we try not to do a lot of flashy things, like the second a fancy car comes out, right? So there's always a group of people who go and buy it. Right. Let's say a Cybertruck. I don't know. Yeah, which is clearly stands out. So I'm not saying that's ayin hara. I'm just saying an example, like that's something which everyone notices, everyone eats the jealous. Certain things, just because you have it doesn't mean you have to flaunt it. So Yeshua respond to them in a certain way, which we'll see in a second, how to avoid an ayin hara. So the reason why the Torah recorded that is not because, even though they claimed land, they weren't answered, but it still wrote it down because it recorded everybody who complained. No, it recorded Yosef because specifically of the response they got from Yeshua to teach us this important lesson to avoid ayin hara. The hainu de ka'amar lehu Yeshua, that's what Yeshua responded to them. Dichsiv, v'yomer lehem Yeshua, im amravata, if you have a lot of people, which they did, they said we have too many people and not enough land. He said lecha ya'ara, go to the forest. So what does that mean? Amar lehu, he said to them, the Gemara interprets, lechu v'hichbu atzmechem b'yarim, go and hide yourself in the forests. Shlo tishlo pachem ayin hara. So it doesn't mean literally run into the forest, but I'm assuming a forest is a certain hidden place. You want to play hide and seek. A good place is a forest. Meaning it's an example of something which is a place where you can hide well. Things are hidden there with many trees. So he's saying, keep your land that you have a lot. Keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself. Don't let everyone know you have so much land, because then it's going to cause an ayin hara.
Wait, but they felt that they didn't have enough land.
Right.
Okay.
So he responds, I can't give you more land.
Yeah, give me.
But I can tell you one thing. Shush.
Yeah,
So-
you got enough people.
Exactly.
Into your space, just not using it.
But not just be quiet because with kids, it's annoying for me if you keep talking.
Uh-huh.
Be quiet because we don't want you to get an ayin hara, an evil eye. If you're going to keep telling everyone that you have so much land, the tribe is going to look at you. They're going to be jealous of you that you got so much land. Then what's going to happen is they're going to open up your books in heaven and see, do you really deserve it? So what you're trying to do to get more land might actually cause you to lose more land. So that's what you got to avoid.
Okay.
So go and hide yourselves. Go and, Atzmechem bi'arim to the forest. Shelo tishlo b'chem ayin hara. That the ayin hara should not rule over you. Turning the page, hold on. Amrulei, the Bnei Yosef responded, you forgot where we came from. We come from Yosef. Yosef was the only one of the tribes that there is no evil eye that could rule upon him. Let's see why. Amrulei, anon mizara di Yosef, the lo shalta ba'ena, visha. We're from Yosef. Yosef is unique. Yosef had a special bracha at the end of Sefer Bereshis when Yaakov's getting all the brachas out. And on him, there will not be an evil eye. So your response is, so let's see. Dichsiv, it says, by the blessings for Yosef, ben Poras Yosef, ben Poras Ale Ayin. So the son of Poras, is how to translate Poras? I don't know, good.
Charming son.
Charming?
Charming son is Joseph, the charming son of the eye.
The charming, okay. Charming son, okay. Charming son of the eye. So what does that mean of the eye? Amr bi'abo, al tikri ole ayin, ella ole ayin. So not read it ole ayin, the ones whose eyes are going to go upon him. Like aliyah, you go up. So the eyes are going to go upon him. So he's someone that that these eyes are not going to go on, meaning he's going to avoid ayin hara. One second. Okay. How do they translate the ole ayin?
But rising over the eye,
What's going to rise over the eye?
Well, that iron.
the eye.
That's all it says?
But
The ole ayin are going to rise over the eye
About.
above the eye.
Above the evil eye.
So the Rishbam says this ole ayin. Yeah, I don't
It
know.
had no power. The evil eye had no power.
They're going to rise over the eye and therefore prevent the evil eye from taking power over them. Okay, this one's more famous. We're going to sing it. We're going to sing this on Simchas Torah. So apropos, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Chanina, Amar Mehacha, the Yidgu Larov, the Karev Aretz. It's the end of Hamalach. I'll go. Right, the Yidgu Larov. You should be plentiful, like the fish, in the midst of the land. So. I know fish don't live on land, but okay. So you should be like you on the land should be like fish in the water, right? So says the Gemara, what does that mean? Like what's unique about fish? You should have fins and scales. You should, be made into sushi. Like what's the So ma dagim should be yam mayim mechasim aleim. Look at a fish. Inspect the fish. Fish is covered by the water. Very hard to see deep down, where the fish are. There's the whole business, right, of snorkeling, and I remember doing it in Israel. You take your snorkel and you go deep down, whatever, not so deep because you have a snorkel, but you get to see all the fish. But above the water, you can't see them. Ma dagim should be yam mechasim aleim. The ein ayin sholetis bahen. The eye cannot go see all the fish and all. Av zaro shel Yosef. So to the offspring of Yosef, ein ha'ayin sholetis bahen. Also, the eye shouldn't be sholet, literally sholet to control. To have shlita, to rule over you. So that's the special blessing. It is interesting to think about is like, Yeshua didn't know this. Like, what's happening over here? He didn't know this expounding of the verse. Meaning from the brachos of Yaakov, you don't see this. It's only based off either one of these interpretations of the verse. So either they say Yeshua, he was Moshe's greatest student, meaning there was no one who knew more than Yeshua. Once Moshe was out of the picture, he was the top guy. So either this, I don't know. You have to know. I don't know. Either he didn't. They expounded this. I don't know. You have to know what was Yeshua's claim on them. I don't know. That's a good question. Okay. Oh wow.
Simple meaning
I
is
underperformed.
fish are unaffected by the evil eye because they cannot be seen. So too are the progeny of Joseph immune to the evil eye. For a deeper explanation of see Torah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Hey,
For some reason I thought I prepared. Okay, I don't know. Okay, let's continue. Miraglim Yehoshua v'Kollel notlu chelkom. So 2 out of the 12 spies, Yoshua and Kollel, they got a portion of Eretz Yisrael. We had earlier, the rest of them did not get a portion of Eretz Yisrael. Okay, underprepared lesson. I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why I thought we're stopping here. I don't know why. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Minan Emili. So how do you know this is true? I mean, okay, it makes sense. They were tzaddikim, but how do you know? Bring me you can imagine the children of those spies now want land. Say, sorry, you don't get it. It's like, how do you know? Bring me a proof. So, saying your father was a spy is not going to be enough. What's the proof? The Amar Kra, the Yehoshua ben Nun, the Kollel ben Yefuna. So Yehoshua, the son of Nun, and Kollel, the son of Yefuna. Chayu min ha'anoshim. Oh, my memory's a parsha. They lived from the men. What does it mean they lived? Meaning, chayu min ha'anoshim ahem. Ma'i chayu. So I would have thought, like the Gemara was going to say, it means they lived, everyone else died out. Ilema chayu mamish. If it means Yoshua and Kollel lived, literally they lived, and they were alive, and everyone else died out. But that's another pasuk that says, "V'haksiv kra achrina, v'lo nosar mehem ish, ki im Kollel ben Yefuna v'Yoshua ben Nun." Another verse already told us that only Yoshua and Kollel survived. So what's this extra verse? Rather, Ella ma'i chayu, shechayu bechelka. They lived in terms of their inheritance. So
we got portions from the other spies.
it's interesting. So why is that referred to as chayu, living? I mean, it seems to me at first glance that it means there's 2 things. They survived, they lived, and the other spies died. Even after they died, they still lived. They were living like vicariously through their portion. The same way we had yesterday, 2 days ago, that David Melech died, but it said the word shachav. It didn't say the word mace. Why? Because he left a son with a similar stature to him. So he didn't fully die.
Oh, okay.
On some level, he was still alive, vicariously through his children. So it's interesting here, it's shechayu bechelkam. Forever, this land's going to be Yoshua and Kollel's. In a certain way, it's like a person writes a sefer. He writes a holy book.
Yeah.
And and 1,000 years later, we're still learning and quoting him.
Mm-hmm.
So in an aspect, he's still alive,
Right.
as opposed to someone who dies and leaves nothing, no remembrance. So that's probably what it means. Okay. So V'hatanya meraglim mislonanim. So we had like this. We had that. Oh, so now we're saying a brisa says the meraglim, 1, the mislonanim, the people who complained. So we'll see what that refers to. The Adas Korach and the Korach gathering, his group of people. Yoshua, Kollel, Yoshua and Kollel, Natlu Chelkam. They got their portion of Israel. So even the Meraglim, even Korach, even the complainers. How could that be? Lo kasha. It's not a difficulty to our statement. Why? Mar makish mislonanim limeraglim, and mar lo makish mislonanim limeraglim. So So according to one opinion, we're comparing the complainers. So we're going to see, it's referring to the complainers within Korach's group, but I think I'm going to have to speak it out soon. One opinion compares them to the Meraglim, and therefore they do not get. And one opinion does not compare them to the Meraglim, and therefore they will get. Right? It's just funny because we have a bigger problem over here. No, it says that the Meraglim get a portion. And we just said the Meraglim don't get a portion. Okay, so let's see if Gemara addresses it. So the Tanya Avinu Mace. So the Brisa tells us Avinu meis b'midbar. Who's this? Our father died in the desert. Who's this referring to? Zet Slavchad. This is referring to Slavchad. V'hulo haya besocha. Oh, that's one. V'hulo haya besocha Eda. 1 second. Yeah, the whole verse is Avinu meis b'midbar hulo haya besocha Eda hano adim al Hashem ba'adas korach. Why? Ki becheto meis ubanim lo hayalo. It says that our father, referring to Tzlafchad, he died in the midbar. He was not part of the complainers, part of Korach. Rather, he died from his own sins, and he had no children. That's what the daughters of Tzlafchad said. So now says the Gemara, Avinu meso midbar zet Tzlafchad. V'hulo haya besocha Eda. He wasn't part of the group. Who was the group? Ze'adas meraglim. The ones who had no adim al Hashem, the ones who are Hano Adim, they like stood forth in front of Hashem. Elu mislonanim. That's referring to the complainers. Ba'adas korach. Kimashmo. So what do you see in one verse? We're comparing people that complained within the group of Korach to the Meraglim. The daughters of Tzlafchad put them in the same, saying our father wasn't either of those people. So you see that they're in the same sentence. So we can compare the two and say even the complainers in Korach do not get a portion of Israel. Umar lo makish mislonim limeraglim. And the other opinion says no, just because they're in the same sentence, we're not going to compare the two. And the complainers of Korach will receive a portion of Eretz Yisrael. Okay. According to the opinion that says that we compare the Mislonim to the Meraglim, and they also lose a portion of Eretz Yisrael, the complainers. So then, Ichbol Yoshua v'Kollel v'Yarsu l'Kula Eretz Yisrael. What's going to happen? Yoshua and Kollel are going to get everyone's portion. They're going to inherit the whole Eretz Yisrael. This promise is not the whole Eretz Yisrael, but they're going to get so much of Eretz Yisrael. Right, if you compare the complainers to the Meraglim, to the spies, and they both don't get a piece of Eretz Yisrael, Yoshua and Kollel are going to walk away with most of Eretz Yisrael. So says the Gemara, no. Amar le, 1 second. So sorry. If you understand that the complainers are referring to who? To the complainers in the desert, which is a lot of the Jewish people. 1 second. Yeah, there's a whole group of people in the desert that said, "What are we going to drink?" They complained to Moshe. Vayilonu ha'am al Moshe. A lot of the nation complained to Moshe. Mm-hmm. If that whole big chunk of the nation is not getting any portion of Eretz Yisrael, and Yoshua and Kollel are going to take it, it's going to come out that a lot of Eretz Yisrael is going to go only to 2 tribes. Says the Gemara, no. What I mean to say is, mislonanim sheba adas korach kamrinim. I don't mean those complainers that made up a lot of Jewish people. I mean the 250 complainers that were part of the tribe of Korach.
So just that one tribe, was it other? The 250 was it more than that tribe?
Oh, the 250 was it more than just Korach? That is a great question. But
anyway,
either way, it's going to be fine because it's only those individuals. Even if it's many different tribes, let's say, but it's only those individuals. Right. Who says their brother from the tribe won't get, or their father or their uncle? It's meaning the tribe will still get. It's interesting. The 250 people. From how many tribes were they? Good question, Jules. What is that?
They don't comment.
So they comment about it, yeah.
So either the answer is obvious or it's too difficult. One of the two. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Let's try to get a little more. So, once again, Rapapa and Abaya going back and forth. I understand according to the opinion that says we divide up Eretz Yisrael according to the calculation of who left Egypt. So then, Hainu Dichsiv, the verse tells us, Vayiplu Chavle Menashe Asara Levad Me'eretz HaGilad. Okay. It says, the verse says, Vayiplu Chavle Menashe Asara. Okay, what is this referring to?
And portions fell to Menashe.
10 portions fell to Menashe. So, to Menashe Shisa? No. So Shisa, the Shisa. 1 second, the verse says. Yeah. So 10 portions fell to him. Okay. So now, Shisa, so 6 of them, the Shisa Bate Avos. The Arba did who? So Ha'asara. So that's very good. That what? 6 came from the Bate Avos, referring to the, and 4 of them were their own.
All the daughters of Kollel.
Okay, the Rashbam explains that. Right. After the Benos Slavchad got it, then it fell to the Chavle Menashe Asara. Got it. So 6 came from the paternal household, okay, and 4 and 4 was and 4 from the Benos Slavchad ended up being 10. So he explains here that it says that he goes to who are the Bnei Menashe and where they got all their land from. Okay, fine, but Elamandim on the Baya Aretz, if you say that we only calculate according to the people who entered Israel, so then Tamnehu, we only have 8 portions, not 10. Why? Abu Shisa, the Shisa Bati Avos, paternally, betrayed who? And only 2 of them, Tamnya. That's only going to refer to 8.
But there's a problem with stuff that it's not because there were 5 daughters. So
Right.
only 4 portions.
Right. Yeah, I didn't do this part. Okay, maybe we'll start from here, make up some ground.